It's all about the quality, not the quantity. I'm certain that you have heard this expression before: favor quality over quantity. And it's something that I've been really familiar with, but it's also something that I've very easily forgotten at points. And I had a bit of a realization this weekend actually about how I want to focus more on the quality and be less obsessed about the quantity. And this has shown up in a few different ways. So, in terms of my personal life, well, this past weekend was pretty uneventful. Looking at the grand scheme of things, we didn't really do anything major, just usual errands and, spending time together, my boyfriend and I, and, relaxing. But it was a quality weekend because we did the things we needed to do, but then we also found the time to go exploring. So we went back to Salerno City and had a bit of a wander through there, which was really quite nice because, it was interesting to see how much the city has changed in the time that I've been away, but also even in a year, because I did go back to Salerno City last year, but even 12 months down the line it's changed yet again. So that was an interesting like little afternoon that we had, but it just felt like we did so much without focusing on the quantity. And usually when it comes to weekends, I'm all about packing in the activities, making sure we squeeze every last drop out of our free time together. But focusing more on the quality meant that actually I enjoyed myself a lot more. And I stopped making it mean that I wasn't doing enough or I could be doing more. And I stopped mentally comparing myself to what other people would be doing and how they would be spending their weekends. And I just did something that felt good to me. And so I definitely am leaning more now into the quality of situations for me, not perceived quality by society, but the quality of a situation for me. But it also applies to my social media content as well, because I definitely have leaned more recently into feeling like I need to be posting every single day to both platforms that I'm really on consistently, which is Instagram and YouTube, and, really putting pressure on myself to produce that content. But I watched a really great interview with Grace Andrews. She is the former marketing director or manager behind Stephen Bartlett's The Diary of a CEO. And she's now going it alone and doing her own thing. But she gave an interview a while ago, which basically said, just stop churning out information for the sake of it. Stop churning out posts on social media because you feel like you have to. Focus more on the quality of the posts that you're producing. And so it really got me thinking, because I'm definitely going to be adopting this now with both of those platforms that I've just mentioned. So whereas before I was trying to do daily videos on YouTube, which recently I haven't been able to sustain, now I'm focusing on my 2 long form videos a week and 3 shorts. So for 5 days out of any given week, there'll be a video on my YouTube channel plus a podcast on every Tuesday. So that's like 6 out of 7 days I'm going to be posting, but it's a time period and it's a quantity of work that is sustainable for me, considering I also work full time as well. Now, on my Instagram, I'm going to be posting 5 days a week. So, like 2 reels, 2 carousels, 1 photo. And again, 2 days a week, I will not post to my Instagram, but it's sustainable for me. And it's so interesting having that clarity, because I do believe that in society, people are obsessed with numbers and quantities, like the number of followers you have. This is such a big one. The number of followers and subscribers you have. Let me tell you, I have seen plenty of accounts on YouTube that have really impressive numbers, like, 30,000, 40,000, 50, 60, whatever thousand numbers of subscribers. But the accounts are dead. Like, people are not commenting, people are not engaging. There are few likes. Maybe the views are average or below average. That's beside the point. The fact is, there is no sense of kind of community on those channels. And that's why people have just focused so much on the quantity, so much on building the numbers because it looks impressive according to society's standards, that they've forgotten about what is really important in terms of delivering value and things that are going to really mean that people feel like they are seen and heard. And in that way, you build community. And I think I've definitely learned this as well, because it's very easy when you have a social platform to become obsessed by the numbers. Very easy. But I've definitely realized, over the course of growing my YouTube channel in particular, that I am constantly growing. And, I do see other channels that have more followers than me, of course. But I also see that I have a really solid community. I have people commenting on all my videos. Some people leave literal essays on my videos. And I see how, like, I'm starting to recognize names and faces. And so this makes me happy, because I realize that I must be producing something of quality to keep those people coming back for more, and to keep them in a state where they want to comment and they want to kind of give their opinions about my content. So I think it is this: we've got to focus more on the quality of what we are doing and not the quantity. The numbers will come and go. Like, you'll lose followers on social media, you'll gain them. It's kind of the ebb and flow of having a social media platform. The experiences you have in life will come and go. There'll be periods of your life where you're really, really busy with lots and lots to do. And then there'll be other times in your life where things are a lot quieter. So it's kind of like focusing on the quality of what you do. And it also applies to how you use your time as well. People get so obsessed with time. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do that. I can't learn a language. I can't make my dreams come true because I don't have the time. Like, it's literally the number one excuse that I hear as an English teacher in Italy from students trying to learn English. And, it's an excuse that I've definitely said in the past when I, let's be real, didn't feel committed enough to learn an Italian, because, if you want something enough, you do find the time. I always say this. So I've definitely been guilty of kind of saying this expression in the past. But what I have learned is that it's about the quality of the time that you use. If you only have 15 minutes or 20 minutes available in any given day, what are you doing in those 15 or 20 minutes? You could be studying, you could be working on your dreams, you could be, I don't know, planning something or watching something that's going to educate you. What are you doing? And it's this. And I think we just need to focus more on quality in all aspects of our life. Everything we do should have quality at the forefront of it and not quantity. Like businesses focusing more on quality would deliver better service and better products than those who are all about the numbers and trying to make the sale and trying to make a big profit. I saw something the other day, actually. So the Amalfi Coast, iconic holiday destination, super beautiful place, real slice of dreamy Italy, because it's not real Italy. I can't say that, but it's like a slice of dreamy Italy. However, I saw something the other day. There was a Lido in Positano advertising their kind of summer activities. And their advert is of people in their Lido serving their guests limoncello by pouring it down their throats in their deck chairs. And I remember, like, I was looking at that going, how is that a quality experience? Like, you are obviously selling your soul to get tourists to sit in that Lido, because let me tell you, I don't know many Italian people that would go to a Lido to have alcohol literally poured down their throats. Like, this is not the culture here. People drink here, but not in a way like that. That's really, I'm going to say it, it's true. It's a very kind of, I don't know, what the British people are renowned for when they go to Spain, for example, like Benidorm, it's kind of that culture, but it's not really an Italian thing. And so I'm looking at this Lido advertising themselves in this way and being like, you are not focused on quality, because the quality would be like, look at where you are, focus in on, serving fresh or locally produced food and alcohol, hone in on the traditional Italian experience that so many people flock to this part of the world to have. Why are you trying to be trashy and tacky and focusing more on the quantity, i.e., the numbers, because you think you're going to attract young people who are like over for a long weekend and they just want to get drunk? But it's just not the way here. And it's this, really and truly, all aspects of life, focus on quality, whatever you do. And I really don't think you'll ever go wrong. The numbers and the quantity will come. if the quality is there, it doesn't really work in the reverse way. I will see you in the next episode.